People, we welcome you back. You know, you come a long way, but you don't go anywhere. We want to find out about the truth and welcome back. Hey, people, where was I? Look at me, looks like I was in the prison for a couple of weeks there. What a winning beard. Thank you, Jesus. What would Jesus do? I guess Jesus had a beard, right? I guess that's the name of this segment. We're going to talk about beards. And did Jesus have a beard? Did Jesus' mother have a beard? Did Mary have a beard? I suppose that Mary Magdalene had a beard. Back in the day, people, 34, 625, 34, 26, 34. Those are my measurements of my beard. If you measure it right across the front, centimeters. I was out there. What's on with the one? The peeps. Here we go. People, welcome home. Mighty Mouse came home. Nolans came home. You know, I've been away so long I don't even know who I am. But I do see something that kind of scares me because my name is Ron9191, which is the last four numbers in my garage, which fixed my car when I was away. $700 for it. So it's like a karma. Instant karma is going to get you. Now, growing a beard is an interesting thing. It's like a conundrum, isn't it? Because you don't know how your beard, when you're a young man like Godwire, right? You don't know how your beard's going to grow in, right? You think someday I'd like to have a beard like that. When you're a little kid, right? You you see what I mean? You cut yourself. I want to talk about what's obviously on my mind today. Anyway, when you're a little kid, you look at beards as you grow up, and you think one day I will have a beard, and then slowly but surely, you know, you grow your beard, and you realize you can't have that beard that you thought like. I wanted to be able to get little lines like the hip hop guys, you know, like a little line right there, and then a spiral, shave it in with a little knife, but I couldn't do it. So here I am. It looks good. It's right. Well, sure. You know, it's a funny thing because when you get lazy, you're on vacation, you don't know what you want in life anymore because you're very, you know, your practical stuff is gone from you. You just have to wake up and go around and walk around until the end of the day. And it's like, it's the hat. You're right, Mighty Mouse, it's the hat. I thought I lost my hat, but I found it. I found it flattened in a little box. You come back from vacation, you find out all the things that you thought, where are they all, you know, and you have to put your life back together. We talk about vacation, we talk about beards, you know. Yes, this is the one. I'm growing a beard pudding, a bread pudding. Ah, bread pudding, beard pudding. You should grow a beard pudding. If you're talking about Diana Ross, I'm coming up. It's Mighty Mouse. She sang that. Sure, she did. I'm coming up. Uh, I want the world to know it's time to let your beard grow. You know what I'm saying? Go. I'm coming. Yeah, you know this is the truth. She did, and it's one of the funkiest songs that you could ever find actually, because I think it might be a Puff Daddy thing. You know what I mean? Oh no, it's not. It's before his time. Yeah, Diana Ross is growing a beard. Now, Mighty Mouse, why don't you grow a beard? I think Mighty Mouse could grow a decent beard. What do you think? If you were watching the chat channel earlier, people, you saw Mighty Mouse come in here with the Superman thing on. What about Superman? I saw The Dark Knight. We're going to talk about that. Scary, sure. I took my kid to it. You know, it's funny because, you know, you feel like a bad parent. I think my little guy was the only guy who was really small in there, you know, seeing all that sick stuff. My friend here, Jason, said there's a one time when he comes in and he says, here's the pencil, the erasing, you know, the invisible pencil thing. And I thought, oh my God. So I knew that was going to happen. So I said, don't look. My little guy's so used to seeing things he shouldn't see. All you have to do is say, close your eyes. And he goes, he closes his eyes. So it's kind of beautiful. Ron, I could have a few hairs on my chin. Sure you could. My wife wrote me a letter. She said, I'm just sitting here, nothing going on. I got a couple stray hairs on my nipple. I said, honey, you know, couple stray nipple hairs. That's the way it goes, you know. People talk about it. Anyway, sure. Mighty Mouse, you should though. You should grow a beard and come online. And we'll come in here and we'll do a face-to-face thing. I once took a promo picture. I had a duo. And the funny thing is, I had a duo back in the day, back in Toronto. We called ourselves R&R, right? Because it was a guy named Rob, and I was Ron, and we were the duo, a couple guitar players. And we took this picture face to face, right? So we were like almost nose to nose, you know, and it was like, it was surprisingly intimate, you know what I mean? It was like, oh my God. I didn't kiss him, but if he would have done that picture now, I would have laid one right on him. Isaiah's in the house. What's going on, Isaiah? You're number one. Have you ever been here before? You're number one if you haven't. But we're talking about vacations, Isaiah. We're talking about beards. I'm so glad to be back. I'm just going to kick back and keep on loving you. Remember the Laugh Out Loud with Ron mugs, people. You ever heard of Cafe Press? Go to cafepress.com. Buy a Laugh Out Loud with Ron mug. I wonder if anybody did. Isaiah, tell me about yourself. You're number one. I see you streamers. I see 11365. You're number one. Someone told me I shouldn't repeat what people say in the chat room because it's stupid, but I love it. Anyway, Mighty Mouse says, I was told a long time ago that women like clean-shaven men, if you know what I mean, diddly ding. I do know what you mean, you know? Snap it off, clean it up. You can have a beard up top. Oh, you're new. Isaiah's new. Cripes. Have you got a beard, Isaiah? If you're talking about beards, I mean, you're number one. I'm guessing that Isaiah doesn't have a beard. What do you think, guys? Yes, no? Isaiah, beard? If you don't want to know. If you're talking about clean-shaven men, you know what? It was funny because I came in today and I sat down here in my little chair And one of the ladies, crazy Brittany, was it? Or crazy, someone like that, came and said, "Ooh," she said, "you look shaggable, you know." I said, "Honey bunny, don't change your name, not for me anyway." So Isaiah's in the house. Now, where do you come from, Isaiah? Do you come from the United States? I'm going to talk about the United States today. We're going to talk about the Dark Knight, even though it's old news. But I finally saw it. I went in there with my little kid. It was funny, you know. We saw everything. We went in there and we watched it, and it was like, ooh. And then you say, what's your favorite part of the Dark Knight? I'll tell you what my favorite part is. When the motorcycle comes breaking out of the Batmobile, it's like, yes, USA, USA Today. We've got thoughts about Americans. Here's the big thought. I was talking to Jason this morning. We were saying, I don't know if you concurred with my whole thing, but you know, I traveled just out to Toronto recently, right? And I drove through the United States because, you know, you don't want to go over the Great Lakes and go, oh my God. But where are you from, Isaiah? We'll find out. But anyway, I realized that the Americans are some of the most, you know, courteous, you know, hospitable, friendly people that you'll ever come across. So it was really lovely. But I will say this because it is kind of the eternal conundrum around here. Because of course you get online, you get on the internet, and you start talking about politics and things like that, and people say, "What's going on with the Americans and their international policy and all this stuff?" And it's diddly ding, and it's kind of like the eternal conundrum because you find, like I said, you find Americans are so, you know, hospitable. They've got a lovely vibe. I mean, we pulled into one hotel about 1 in the morning in our trip somewhere, and the lady behind the desk was so friendly. She says, "Can I make you a cup of coffee? You know, do you want me to open up the pool for a little while?" I mean, she opened up the pool. It was lovely. You know, it's like 1 in the morning, and my kids were like all freaks, you know, all the time. But by the time you've been in the car for about 8 hours with your kids, the whole family is like just freaked right out. You know what I mean? And you let them out of the car, and they start freaking out even more. And so the lady said, "Hey, you're number one. I'll open up the pool," and we popped into the pool, and I love it, you know. And I love going in the pool, and I found the hot tub is a big thing too. You know, when you see the old folks at the hot tub place, did you ever go to the swimming with the old folks, and you see they all get in the hot tub, right? There was this one pool in Toronto, which had the biggest hot tub that you ever saw, right? And it was filled with old people, and they all sit there right beside the jets, you know, and they're resting their rear end, or they're trying to, you know, put their loins on there, something. They're trying to get some kind of, you know, help for their aching muscles. And so I was so stiff, you know, because I had been, you know, doing the. Well, I'll tell you about that later. But what it was is I realized I'm getting old because I said, "Oh my God, let me just sit here." But I was sitting there, and the jet was so strong, it was like it was pounding. And the next day I woke up and it was like, "Oh God, I can't even breathe." And I still feel it in my back. It's like, holy shit! Don't go to the hot tub jets until you're older. When your muscles are so shot, you don't even care what you do to them anymore. So there we go. California, Vaughn, you're always number one. Try the hot tub at the Playboy Mansion next time, Vaughn. Yes, it is. Yes. I will do that, you know, because I grew this beard. What about that guy who runs the Playboys? What's his name? Hugh Hefner? What a guy. 81, he's got twins. Anyway, I was looking at a magazine on my vacation, and it looks like this guy Al Pacino's got like a 5-year-old or something like that. I thought, the poor bugger, eh? You know, he can act like anything, but he's gonna have a hard time acting like a daddy when he's old and gray, and his kid's like hanging on his nutsack, saying, "Can we go swimming? You know, it's time to take a long drive." Can you imagine Al Pacino? You know how he likes to freak out and yell like, "No, no, you can't handle the truth." That kind of guy is what he says. What's he gonna say to his kids when they say, "Dad, would you buy me a brand new, you know, flea flicker?" You know, he's gonna freak out and do one of his monologues, and the whole family will break up, and he'll be free to go back to his career. Anyway, so Mighty Mouse, you would grow a beard. Did you ever have any pictures of yourself with a beard? I want to know about that. Isaiah, no beard? What's the truth about it for you? We're sitting here, we're all alone. Yeah, I spent about, good God, what's the truth? I spent thousands of dollars, you know, and I don't have thousands of dollars to spend, but I decided to just spend it anyway, you know, because that's the truth of it. And it was funny because, like, you know, the kids don't care, right? Kids don't care if you've got money problems, right? They're on vacation, right? We went to Wonderland, which is like an amusement park near Toronto, and it was like, holy smokers, we're going to have to spend a lot of money here, and we'll talk about that too. Diddle-dee-ding.